Hey guys, this is Cooper from Team Underground Next, and I'm coming at you with a Shaddoll Clowns deck profile. The deck is quickly becoming one of the most consistent decks of the format this year, and its popularity is reflective of that. But let's start out real quick with the Shaddoll monsters. We're going to start with 2 Falcos, really good, flip effect, get your stuff back from the graveyard, summon himself back. Tuner, also level 2, really good. 2 Hedgehog, send him to the graveyard to get a Shaddoll monster from your hand, and also flip him to get a spell card from your deck to your hand. Really helps when times when the deck is stalling, you just need to get some consistency going. Also really good in the mirror match. 2 Sklamata, he's your deck thinner. He also flips and destroys things. He's a central part of the deck and really helps you get things going when you need to deck thin and get those cards you need. 2 Dragon. Dragon's your MST for the deck. He also flips and returns things to your opponent's hand. This can be very useful. It's a very versatile card. Definitely a 2 of, in my opinion. I think it's too good right now not to use. And then last up for the Shaddoll monsters is Shaddoll Beast. Run 2 of them in here. Try to get to them as early as possible in the mirror match. Try to tribute off your fusions. That way your opponent can't use their Shaddoll fusions from deck. Kind of limit them in that way, and then make your big plays next. Flip, draw 2, discard 1. You plus off that with all their graveyard effects. And also, if you send him to the graveyard, you can just draw 1 card. So some crazy deck thinning and drawing combos off of him. And that's all for the Shaddoll lineup. Take a look at the Clown engine that I'm running here. I'm choosing to run 3 Performage Damage Juggler. He's kind of a Karibo. You discard him and reduce the next battle damage to 0, and once he's in the graveyard, you can remove him from play and search out any Performage card in the deck. He's really good. Also, he's a light target for your BLS and Construct, whatever you need it. Very versatile. Next up, 2 Performage Trick Clown. I'm running 2 because I think that's all is necessary for the deck. Once I get him in the grave once, I can use his effect and go off from there. And his effect is once per turn, if this card would go to the graveyard, you can pay 1,000 to special summon him, and his attack stats go to 0. Really good for making extra rank 4s or constructs or anything you need, really. Awesome card. And then last up, for the Clown engine is the 2 Hat Trickers. If there are 2 or more monsters on the field, you can special summon this card. And also, if an effect would go off where you take any damage, you can reduce that damage to 0 by changing its effect and gaining a counter. And once you get 3 up there, you can make his attack go up. If you've got Hat Tricker on board and send a Clown to graveyard, you can activate his effect and then chain Hat Tricker's effect to him, making you pay no cost to summon him. Really awesome. That's it for the Clowns. We're going to move in here to the non-Shaddoll, non-Clown monsters that I use in the deck. First up, our Tuners. Run 1 Glow Up Bulb. You're deck thinning a lot, and you can plus really hard off of his effect to send 1, because all their effects activate in the graveyard. He's also a level 1 Tuner, like I said. You can go into Star Reader, you can go into Trish, Leo if you need to. Very versatile. Also, he's an Earth target for your Shaddoll fusion to go into Shikanaga. Really great card. 2 Effect Veilers. Awesome hand trap. Really can stun your opponent in the middle of their big plays. Also a level 1 Tuner and a target for Construct since he is a light. Also, he's a very easy target to summon BLS, which is amazing because he's always in the graveyard when you need him the most. Next up, the obligatory 3 Mathematician. Send 1 to grave, and when he dies, you get to draw 1. Normally, you can deck thin a lot by sending Sklamata and then sending Beast and then drawing 1 when he dies. Too good in this deck. He's also an Earth target for Shikanaga if you need to summon into Shikanaga. And he can give you different level varieties to go into different synchro plays. Alright, 2 Gigabyte. Level 4 water type monster, 1500 attack. If you control a spellcaster monster, you can special summon it from hand. That makes rank 4 plays really incredible, really easy to do. And also, he's the water target in the deck to summon the Water Fusion Anoetilis for your Necros matchup. Really, really good. Either way you want to play him, I play him at 2. And then last up for our non-clown, non-Shaddoll monsters is BLS. One of my favorite cards in the deck. Probably the best card to top deck in tight situations. His effects speak for himself. He's just legendary. Banish one on the field once per turn. It can't attack, and if he does happen to attack, then he can and destroy a monster. He can attack again that turn. Too good. All right, that does it for the monster lineup. The deck is heavy on the monsters, but we're gonna move into the spells. Starting off, we got 3 Shaddoll Fusion. This card is my favorite fusion card in the game. If your opponent controls an extra deck monster or a special summon monster, you can send the materials for your fusion from your deck to your graveyard. Really, really good. You really want to watch out for this, though, in the mirror match. Like I said, you want to tribute off your stuff for your beast and get beast as fast as you can, so that your opponent can't make advantage off this card and can't go into their big fusion plays. Next up is 3 of the quick play. El Shaddoll Fusion. Activate this during battle to swing for game or to save yourself, or just to fuse in general. One of the things I like to do when my opponent plays Dark Hole or Raigeki is to fuse, say, a Construct and another one of my Shaddoll monsters into Winda, and then gain back one of the fusion cards from my graveyard from Construct's effect and have a monster on board. Really clutch. Alright, since we are running Norden in the extra deck, or Norden in the TCG, running 2 instant fusions, I think instant fusion is incredible in this deck because not only do you have Norden as a target, you also have Winda that you can go into for those versatile exceed or synchro plays when you need the extra level. Really, really great card. You can go off with just this one. Alright, 1 Mystical Space Typhoon. We're running 2 dragons in the main build right now, so I felt like we're already running 2 MSTs basically that can bounce things. So just 1 of this, but maybe play test 2 in the future. Run Raigeki. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Just too great of a card. I'm very happy to see it off the ban list and back in play. Let's hope it sticks around for a long time. And then lastly, 1 Foolish Burial. It speaks for itself in this deck. You can really get your engine going in a lot of different ways by using this 1 card, sending Sklamata, and sending something else to deck thin and get what you need. Alright, last up, very, very minimal trap lineup. We'll start with Sinister Shadow Games. You can flip this and send 1 Shaddoll monster to the graveyard, and then if you have any face down ones, you can flip them up and trigger their effects too. It's just a spark for the deck. Can also save you in situations where you need to get a fusion and you need to get it now, by sending things like Shaddoll Core and Shaddoll Fusion to get back the Shaddoll Fusion, by either in combination of Sklamata or Construct with that card. Speaking of Shaddoll Core, we'll run 1 of it. Thinking about playtesting 2, it's really, really good. It can fuse for any attribute of your fusion monster. It's got an attack stats that can save you. When it goes to the graveyard, you can add 1 spell or trap, or Shaddoll spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand. It's really, really versatile. Great card in the deck. And lastly, I run 1 Torrential Tribute. It's a great defensive card for the deck. It's a deck that has a lot of offensive options, but sometimes needs defensive options. I figured I can trigger my Shaddoll effects in the graveyard and plus off them and stop my opponent's larger plays when they try to go into it on their turn. That is it for the main deck. Moving into the extra deck, start off with 1 Performage Trapeze Magician. This card is broken and needs to go up into higher rarity, I think. When this guy's on board, you never take any damage under his attack. You can detach one and have one monster, either your opponent's or yours, attack twice that turn, but it's destroyed during the end of the battle phase. And when this guy dies, you can special summon one Performage monster. Is really nuts. Him and a construct versus your opponent's clear board is game. 3 sets of 27. It just makes the OTK possibilities really, really high, and you can punish your opponent with this guy really easily. 1, Castell the Skyblast Musketeer. Arguably the best rank 4 in the game, with his versatility of sending one face-up card, monster, or spell or trap back to your opponent's deck and shuffling it up, and can also act as a Book of Moon by detaching one. Good stats all around, just a great card. Very happy to see this reprinted. Now, these next two are for the mirror match, for the Burning Abyss matchup. Though I am showcasing a Shaddoll Clown deck, I am a Tellarknight player. This is Tellarknight Ptolemaios. It's your floodgate to get into Diamond when you need it. Very potent card. I'm hoping it stays around, but in the OCG, and unfortunately suffered a terrible fate lately. Next up is Diamond. Has great effects, kills a lot of the meta right now. It's a option to go into in the Burning Abyss play, and is an option to go into in the mirror match as well. Neither player can send cards from their deck to the graveyard, while this card has Exceed material on it. Any card that comes from the graveyard to the hand is banished instead, and when a dark monster would activate its effect, you can detach one Exceed material from this card and negate and destroy it. Really, really broken. Great card. That's it for the Exceeds. Moving into the Synchro territory, I'm running 1 Leo right now. At my locals especially, there's a couple builds of this deck that are playing the new Ritual monster that allows you to Book of Moon something or flip something up during either player's turn. Leo can't be targeted, so if they make the mistake of letting me Synchro summon for 10, I bring out Leo and just punch over it, because that's a problem card for me. Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. So happy to see this guy back. I think he was a great choice to bring back on Konami's part. I don't think he's format breaking anymore. Really, when you summon him, you can make a lot of advantage and put your opponent in a situation where they've got to really dig deep to get out of. Nodin makes this card very easily summon. Summon Nodin. Summon a level 4 like via normal summon or a hat tricker, and then bring back a level 1 via Nodin's effect, and just make Trish and go off in that way. Great card, glad to have it back. Alright, speaking of Nodin, or Norden in the TCG, keep making that mistake. Been hyped up for this card for a while. Since we're running 2 Instant Fusion for consistencies, why not run 2 Nodin? I've been advised to bump it to 3, but I'm playing it at 2 right now because the extra deck space is very, very limited. This card, when it's summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower from your graveyard. Its effects are negated. And then you can go into an Exceed play or a Synchro play, like Trish or Leo, as I just explained. Alright, now on to the Shaddoll monsters. Running 2 Winda. Winda is still really, really good. Ever since she came out, she's been good. Can't be destroyed by card effects. You and your opponent can only special summon once, and when this card dies, you get to add a Shaddoll spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand. Can really stun a lot of decks still, and keep things going at a steady pace for you if you need to build up, or if you just are facing a deck that special summons a ton, say for like Blackwings or Tellarknights or something. It's really hard for them to get over unless they have the Rigel out or the Battle out. It's a great card, great card. Alright, next up, my favorite Shaddoll card, and very popular Shaddoll card, Shaddoll Construct. The bread and butter of the deck. When she's summoned, you can send 1 Shaddoll card from your deck to your graveyard. When she battles a special summon monster, you can automatically kill it, and when she dies, she gets to add a Shaddoll spell or trap from the graveyard. this card is just nuts to summon. A construct against your opponent is always a great thing to have on board. It is very potent, and glad it's at 3 here. All right, just a few more. 1 Shikanaga. We run a lot of earth targets in here. I didn't feel like we needed to run 2. I think 2 is a little too much. But it's got really good effects. If you have a Shaddoll card in your hand, you can send it to the graveyard to negate a monster's effect once per turn. And when it dies, you get your fusion back, or your spell or trap back. So all of them pay for themselves, really. Really great. Can save you in a hurry, and it's got a 3,000 defense stat, so it can wall up really well and save you for a couple turns. All right, last up is the newest fusion, El Shaddoll Noitilus. She is the water fusion and really great against your Necroz matchup. Basically, if you summon this and they don't have an out, it's pretty much GG for them. When she's summoned, or as she's on the board, neither player can special summon monsters from their hand via a spell or trap. And like I said, if they don't have the out for that, then it's pretty much GG. You can just sit on her and keep poking away at their life points until they eventually run out. By the time they get an out, normally it's too late. Like I said, what we use to main deck, what we use in the main deck to fusion her is the Gigabytes, and their special summon abilities really come in handy for summoning her when she needs to. Alright guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed my build. Please let me know if you've got any feedback for it. I really like it, but it's always growing and learning. This is Coop from Team Underground Next, signing out.